Welcome back to my channel. I'm former MLB player Jermaine Curtis. I'm here with Ian Dougherty. He's from OSU, Oklahoma State University. He is a catcher on my team. And if you guys don't know, I manage the Greenville Flyboys in the new Appalachian League, where it's all college prospects who are going to get drafted in the next few years. And he's going to be one of those. And I'll tell you why in a second. But today, what we're talking about is his home run. He hit a home run a few nights ago that put us up to basically win the game. And we're going to walk through that whole scenario. So let me give you a quick little rundown of the story, and then we'll get into exactly how he hit that home run and what he was thinking, his whole process. So we were down one, and he's in the pen, and he didn't play that day. I didn't have him in the starting lineup. We have a lot of catchers, so we got to mix in time. But I had him in my mind because they were warming up a left-handed pitcher, and our hitter was a left-handed hitter. So they wanted to create that matchup, and I was like, an inning and a half before, I was like, if they bring in that lefty, I'm going to pitch hit Ian. And so I said it in my head, but I didn't tell anybody. And then when they brought in the lefty, or were about to bring him in, I was like, where's Ian? And I thought at that moment, I was like, I didn't tell anybody what my plan was, so no one knows. So I literally had to get a guy to run down there to grab him. And what was your reaction when they ran down and grabbed you?
It caught me off guard. I mean, I really didn't expect it. And then Canyon just runs out. I was like, Ian, they need you in the pen, or they need you in the dugout. They need you in the dugout. I was like, for what? He's like, I think you're hitting. So I ran down there, and then you met me. You're like, get ready to hit.
Yeah. So I said, get ready to hit. And most people, their eyes would have been like, scared and frightened. And he was just like, let's go. He was fired up, and he wanted that at bat. And so he gets on deck. He goes through his process. And talk me through the process, okay? Now you got your bat. You're on deck right now. What were you thinking in that situation?
Yeah, so got all my stuff on, got on deck, got loose with the weight a little bit, and then was just watching the lefty throw, kind of seeing what he had, and then kind of figuring out a game plan from there.
And what was your game plan?
So lefty, it's going to probably tail away from me most likely. So I was going to think more, hit the ball to center, right center, stay on that two-seam away, and then get the head out on the off-speed.
That's a good approach, because let's say he has a good changeup, you're still giving yourself a chance to drive into that left center gap because you're thinking right center on the fastball. So that's a very, very good approach. Now talk through what was your mental game? What were you saying to yourself? Because you looked very, very confident when you were walking to the plate. You're the type of player that has that confidence, that fearless, that aura that's like, hey, I'm about to get this job done. I want this at bat. Talk to me through that whole mental side of things, because that's very important.
Yeah, hitting, big part of hitting is confidence, knowing you can do it. So like when I was on deck, sizing up the pitcher a little bit, I was like, all right, let's go, Ian. You got this. Like, time to hit a barrel right here. Keep the game rolling, get it to the next guy. So
you were just thinking, get it to the next guy. You weren't thinking trying to drive a ball in the gaps, trying to, hit a home run. You were just thinking, let me just get it to the next guy. And I like that, because that takes the pressure off you as a player. And I think a lot of times as players, we put pressure on ourselves saying, I have to hit the home run. I have to hit the double. I have to get the big hit. I like that. So that's exactly what you're doing, you just want to get the next guy up.
Yeah, well, especially when early on in the AB, I was thinking drive a ball. And then once it got to 2 strikes, like, all right, I just got to do my job, put a ball in play, get it to the next guy, see what we can do.
So now you are in the at-bat, okay? First pitch, what were you thinking in this situation, okay?
I was trying to be aggressive, be ready, because sometimes that first pitch is the best pitch you'll see that entire at-bat. So I was trying to be ready. I believe first pitch, he threw a changeup low for a called strike. And then he went back to the fastball. And I took a hack. I was right on it, fouled it right back. And then I think fought off a couple more pitches later, and then he threw a 0-2 slide or curveball middle down. I just caught it out front and got the head out, hit a homer.
Can you first, before we go into the actual swing, that first fastball, you said the first pitch was a changeup, strike one, okay? At that point, you got to tip your cap. He threw a changeup, okay? That's a good pitch. But you seen that pitch and you didn't swing at it. So what did you see? Can you walk me through that whole thing that you're seeing? Like, did you just see it die, or like what was that whole thing?
Yeah, I kind of saw it die a little bit, and it really didn't have that true like fastball spin. So I was like, let's not go on that. And then get something weak off the end of the bat. Didn't want to do that.
So there is right there, that's a gem right there. Your bats are precious. He could have swung at that pitch and he probably would have had some weak contact and he would have ruined his at bat. Instead, he took that pitch because it didn't have that fastball spin and he gave himself a really good chance. So that's a good, that's a good thing right there for all you young players out there. Start looking at the spin, and you're going to get it as you keep taking the bats. You'll start to understand what pitches that you should lay off on and what pitches you hit. So next pitch, he throws a fastball, you take a massive hack at it, and you miss it. What went through your head after that swing?
Swing felt good. Felt like I was right on it. Just fouled it straight back. Kind of made in my mind, made the adjustment. Okay, fouled it straight back, maybe a little underneath it. All right, let's make the adjustment a little more top hand and not miss that the next time.
And so now it's 2 strikes. What's your 2-strike approach?
2-strike approach. I like to choke up a little on the bat, get a little more barrel control, and I scoot up to the dish a little bit.
And why do you scoot up? Where do you normally stand?
Normally I'm about right here.
In the back of the box.
And then 2 strikes, I'll choke up and I'll scoot up a little bit just to make sure I can cover that outside corner. And then anything inside, I know I need to be swinging or it's going to hit me.
Nice. So it's 2 strikes now, and he throws you that curveball. And did you see it pop up? Or what was going through your head?
Yeah, so I was 2 strikes. I like to my approach to be a little more right center, right field, so I can see the ball a little longer. And I saw that curveball pop and saw the spin, and I was thinking right center, so it allowed me to just be on time, keep my hands on plane, and catch that thing out front.
He caught it out front. It had true backspin, and it didn't slice. It didn't tail. It was true. It stayed true all the way down the line, went over the fence. Now we're up by 1. As you're running around the bases, walk me through that whole, what you were thinking. Because this is, that the team that we played was the number 1 team in our division. So that game, we're the number 2 team. So it was a very, competitive game. And for him to do that, put us up, that was one of those moments where it's super fiery. Everyone's fired up. Everyone's yelling. And even me as a manager, you got to play it cool. You got to be, calm. But my emotions even got sparked because I was so excited that, he pinch hit and hit a home run to put us ahead. So walk us through that.
Yeah, so I hit it, and I didn't, I know I hit it pretty good, but I didn't know. I kind of caught it pretty far out front. So I didn't know if I had the legs to go out. So I was grow legs, but I'm rounding first. I saw it leave the yard, and I kind of blacked out a little bit. I was super pumped for the boys. And then when I rounded third and saw them all out there outside the dugout, I was like, oh, let's go. And I don't remember what I yelled, probably let's go or something like that.
Yeah, he came right into the dugout let's go. And if I have a clip, I'll show it right now so you can see it. But yeah, it's he was let's go. And I got fired up. I was yeah, let's go, that a boy. So I was fired up for him. And we end up winning that game. And that at bat was super huge for us. And it was a phenomenal day. And you got to watch out for this guy because in a few years he will be drafted. And he just does a lot of good things. A lot of things is right, especially as a catcher, and he can hit offensively. He's one of our better hitters, and you're going to see him soon. So with that said, I want to thank you for watching. But before we do, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. This is Ian Dougherty. He has a YouTube channel. No, you have a Twitter and Instagram. Can you give me the handle for that?
Yeah, Ian Dougherty 22.
Awesome. Follow him, and you'll see him more often. We're going to do a podcast, and we're going to talk about, him catching. He's going to give some tips about, what he needs to do to, get seen and recruited. He goes to OSU, Oklahoma State University, which is a powerhouse school. So he's going to talk about that. So stay tuned for that because we got a lot of great content coming for you soon. So with that being said, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.